So this robot just ran a half marathon faster than any human has ever done it before. And it was made by the same company that made this phone and this robot phone? Why would a company that makes phones suddenly start making robots? Could this help lead to a real home robot product? And is this part of a broader pivot to robots that's already happening? The recent robot race was the second of its kind hosted in China and the first year that a robot broke the human world record. More than 100 robots raced against humans in the Beijing half marathon, but the humans and robots were separated for safety. The winning robot, named Flash, was made by the company Honor, and it finished so far ahead, nobody else was even near it when it crossed the finish line. Robots from Honor also took second and third place in the competition. The race was just over 13 miles long, and Flash's winning time was 50 minutes and 26 seconds. That's under 4 minutes per mile. Bruh. That's like faster than me sprinting. It's also nearly 7 minutes faster than human world record holder Jacob Kiplimbo. Good thing robot records don't count though. This record-breaking robot wasn't piloted by a human either. Flash ran the course autonomously, while some other competitors were remote controlled. Last year's fastest robot took nearly 3 hours to run the same distance, which shows how much technology has improved in just 1 year. It's also interesting to see that companies not traditionally been known for making robots are getting in on the action and excelling in some of these special tasks. Honor has made a strong pivot into robotics this year, introducing their robot phone at Mobile World Congress, as well as the company's first humanoid, which some of my colleagues got to see in person. Now with Flash, Honor is claiming its seat at the table of humanoid robotics companies to watch, and that table seems to only be growing larger. Why that's happening has a lot to do with AI. Honor's robot phone looks on the surface like a combination between a handheld gimbal camera, clearly meant to compete with the DJI Osmo, and a phone. Not very robot-like when you put it like that, but it also features an onboard AI, which complemented one CNET writer's hair in real time. So the camera is kind of like the eye of a robot, and the AI software provides the voice and interactive component.
Clearly it understands what it's seeing, and maybe the analogy to that is something like a Google phone has Google Lens, and you can point it at like clothing and it will tell you what brand it is or where to buy it or what that food is.
We've been making humanoid robots for decades, but it's only recently that these robots started making significant advances in capability. AI brains help, but advancements in computer vision, data gathering, sensors, and more also play their part. Companies with a track record in some of these areas have already been jumping on the humanoid robot train. Car companies were among some of the first to pivot to humanoids, starting with Honda as early as 2000. Elon Musk claimed that cars started to become robots on wheels, and Hyundai acquired Boston Dynamics in 2021. The car industry historically has also been an early adopter of automated technologies. Is Honor's pivot to humanoids a signal that other smartphone companies will follow? Apple certainly is exploring robotics and is working on small robotics that have a human-like personality, but no arms or legs yet that we know of.
An Honor spokesperson told CNET that going forward, its humanoid robot development would be focused on the consumer market.
If you think about the smartest device that you have, it's going to be your phone, and you want that robot, whether it's going to be something that's a speaker with a moving display on your kitchen countertop, or a phone with a gimbal, or something that's actually got legs and walking around and folding your laundry, you're going to want it to be that intelligent and know your needs and hopefully know your boundaries as well.
Time will tell if more gadget makers run toward this area, but one thing Honor and other Chinese humanoid companies have on their side is state policy. The Chinese government releases 5-year plans, which often highlights areas it wants to develop, and the most recent one, covering 2026 to 2030, strongly prioritizes the development of humanoid robots and embodied intelligence, which is basically just the use of AI to control physical robots. Events like the Half Marathon and World Humanoid Robot Games, which are put on in part by funding by local Chinese government groups, provide a place for robots to interact, compete, and test their latest innovations. And the work done to make robots run better might also help that new phone work a little smoother. The same sensors that keep your gimbal balanced may be good for helping keep a robot on its feet.
An Honor spokesperson confirmed this, saying the company's experience with managing heat buildup, using lightweight materials, and making reliable hardware contributed to its humanoid robot's success in the half marathon.
Do you think humanoid robots will be able to ride the AI wave to widespread adoption? Let us know what you think down in the comments, and subscribe for more stories that make you say, what the future?